Hi, my name is Chris Eichert and I am a second-year PhD candidate at Cass Business School. I study consumption and marketing from a sociological and cultural perspective, which means that I think of consumption as symbolic acts through which consumers construct identities, express their beliefs and values, and collectively give meaning to themselves and also to their worlds. So, in my current research project, I am looking at gay consumers as a minority which has historically experienced discrimination and stigma from mainstream society. Now we know from previous research that consumption is one way how minorities construct positive identities and how they create a feeling of community, mutual belonging and solidarity. Think for instance about the consumption of particular fashion styles, brands or cultural products in the gay community. Or think about the consumption of music, all the way from Gloria Gaynor's I Will Survive in the late 70s to Lady Gaga, Born This Way. So what we learn from this research is that collective consumption enables minorities to celebrate their being different, but also to challenge a society's dominant rules and values. Now, the interesting question is, how do such identities and their consumption styles change over time? Especially when discrimination and stigma are getting lifted and minority consumers can now become part of the mainstream. Look for instance at the discourse about same-sex marriage within the gay community. So is having your Disney-style perfect gay wedding really a path to liberation for gay consumers? Or is having basically your own mainstream identity also connected to losing part of your own community, culture, history and identity as a minority group? How do these identities, which are built on being different from the mainstream, deal with access to new mainstream resources and privilege? Of course, these questions are not easy to answer, but what I'm trying to do is to shed some light on the mechanisms how consumption enables minority consumers to manage their identities when simple explanations of majority versus minority loses their explanatory power, and instead we would be looking for a more nuanced understanding of the relationship between consumption and collective identities.